Hey Nancy, as promised, I'm going to do a video just for you so you can remember how to apply your makeup. This is how I apply it. You can do it however you want, but this is kind of what we went over. I did already put on my cream moisturizer, and I've let that set in. I have done my eyebrows just so I don't scare you because I don't have very many eyebrows. But I've let this set in, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sponge, which has been wrung out or wetted and wrung out, and there's no water in it at all. And I'm just going to tap the places where I know that the makeup tends to build up on my face. And I'm just tapping off the excess. And mine builds up same place as yours right here, and then mine builds up around my nose, around my mustache line, and then my chin. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to use my setting spray. I'm not going to use a primer. So I like this one. You can use whatever you want. I use this one before and after. So I'll go ahead and actually let me put my hair up here. Excuse me. Be a little easier. All right. Let's get that up. All right, that way you can see the face. All right, so, and then I'm gonna let that set in really good. If it goes on in big dots, you know, if it comes out in big dots and it's not a fine mist, I would definitely take your sponge and just lightly tap over it, or you can use the end of your highlight one and then just kind of give it a pat, because you don't want those big dots in there from the setting spray. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the blush and bronzer brush, and I'm going to get into, and these are my colors, but this represents what we got you. You got Astoria as your contour. You got Candlelit as your highlight, your brightening highlight. You got Sandy, which is this is Sandy as your main. Then you've got Heat Waves as your bronzer. And then you got Black Cherry. I'm using Hollywood today. And then this is the As You Wish. Also, be sure you're conditioning your lips before you get started. You can use whatever you like. I do like the Seint lip conditioner. It is really good. I've already put it on. So, all right, let's get started. My setting spray is in, and let's start with the contour. And I'm going to dip it in there, and I'm not going to squeeze it. I'm just going to get in there and go after it. And I'm going to get in there good. You can see. And then I'm just going to start putting it on my forehead. I have a bigger forehead than you, so I probably put a little bit more on than you do. And you do want to get it up in your hairline. And this is going to give you three-dimensional look, make your face look smaller. And I'm almost kind of blending it out a little bit as I put it on. All right, now for the cheek. So I think you were going like right here. I want you to actually go higher. I want you to go here, okay? Kind of where you can see I have the gray like you. All right, let's do it. And we're just gonna start from back there, and we're gonna go forward. And I'm gonna put a little heavy on, because once you start adding your highlight, it kind of will blend out a little bit. So don't be scared to use a little bit more of your contour. And then I'm gonna kind of just let it meet there. Okay. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do, you wanna do right, and don't worry because we're gonna blend it out when we do our highlight, but we wanna rub right along that jawline. Okay. And this one, if you want to squeeze the brush to kind of get it in finer, you can. You can squeeze it and just kind of go. All right. So I've done my jawline. And then we'll contour the nose afterwards. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the brightening highlight, and I'm going to use my other blush and bronzer brush, and I'm going to get in my lighter highlight, which yours is going to be Candlelit. And I'm just going to tap it up here. I'm going to tap it right here. I'm going to tap it right here. Right there. And what I like to do is I do kind of like to get a little bit of that lighter one just right there. It'll really define those cheekbones. So we're going to blend all this out, so don't panic, okay? And we'll go down the nose later. All right, so I'm going to tap it off on my washcloth, and now we're going to get into the coverage one, which is Sandy. And these, you'll obviously have a different consistency than, and I like to kind of put it across my mouth, and then my nose cracks right there. But you'll notice these have a different consistency than your contour, so you don't have to push down as much when you're getting in there. Okay. And I use this one on my neck. I know you use the other one, but I use the Sandy to cover up. And I'll bronze that a little bit, so it'll kind of match here in a little bit when I use the bronzer. Okay, so I'm gonna let that warm up just a second. It's warming up. And now I'm gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna blend my contour. I'm gonna start with just my highlight. So, and you just start blending. I always go forehead first. And then you're gonna go in here. And I kind of just push it on top of my eyelids. And we're gonna get it up in there. And then I'm gonna take the end of the other brush and I'm just gonna kind of press it in. And now I'm gonna take my contour one and I'm just gonna go back over my contour. So I want my contour to kind of pop out. All right. Now you can see I have contoured and I've highlighted. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my lip, and I use a liner. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a contour line. I go underneath, and I'm not going to go all the way to the edges. Okay. Here either. I'm just going to go to the top right there. Because we already have these weird things that go on now, and we don't want to get any product near that. All right. Now, once you put your highlight on, if you feel like you have a little too much product, because I think I have a little bit too much right there, I'm just going to lightly tap right there. And in my nose, I noticed it when I was sitting here. Those little areas, we don't want to have too much product, so I just did that. All right, so I'm going to use my Hollywood. I'm going to get it on with my finger. And it's a satin. I like the satins. All right, and then I'm going to take the remainder, get a little bit more on my finger, and I'm going to press it right here. And I did kind of 3 little dots from the center back towards my hairline, just right there. And then I'm going to blend that. Let it sit for just a minute. While we're doing that, we can go ahead and contour our nose. All right, so I'm going to use the smudge brush, and I'm going to dip a little bit into my contour. And I'm just going to start right here, and I'm getting kind of on top of my nose and to the side. Looks good. And then what I'll do is I'm going to put a little bit of my highlight, and you can go either color highlight that you like. You can go dark or light. I just put a little bit of my Sunlit in there, and then I'll take the end of the contour thing and I'll just kind of lightly pat it. All right, let's go ahead and blend the cheek, and I'm going to use the contour one, and I'm just going to stipple it, kind of pushing it in and back at the same time. Okay, see? Okay, I noticed I got a little bit too much contour right there. All right, so now we have done the all of that, and I'm going to do bronzer now, and then I'll do the As You Wish. So this is the Heat Waves bronzer, which is what you picked, and it's gonna pick up a little better than contour will, so be careful. And I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it kind of right here, and right here. And then what I'm gonna do is I like to take it down over my neck. And I think it's the way that the light is hitting me. I'm trying to use natural light today, and it's not necessarily working. So I'm gonna just blend that kind of across my nose a little bit. So that way I look like I have a little bit of sun, and then I'm gonna blend this one up here. See? All right. And last but not least, we are going to use the As You Wish. I'm gonna get a little bit in there, and I'm just gonna kiss it. What do you think? And then I'm gonna put a little bit down my nose, and I'm gonna put a little bit, I haven't put any mascara yet, I'm gonna put a little bit on my eye. This is a very natural look. All right, now before I put my mascara on, I told you the trick about this, but first let me put my setting spray on. So we're gonna set spray again. Let it kind of dry. And then don't put too much, but you're gonna just use a little bit of, and normally what I do is I'll take this out, so I'm gonna put it in my hair anyways. And as I'm spraying my hair, that's it. And then I'll just take the end of my contour brush. And that's all she wrote. That's it. I do see a little drippage right there, but you're ready. That should lock it in basically for all day. So, oh, I see one little spot there from the setting spray. All right, that's it. There's all the things that you got. The brushes that I used are here, and then you use whatever setting spray, conditioner, or cream that you like. It's up to you. So if you have any questions, let me know.